Show me the money. Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money at. Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money at. Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money at. Coinbase got hacked.
Hey everyone, I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. Now, we like to do things transparently here at Coinbase, and so I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no.
Okay, he talking big. He talking big Willie.
We are not going to pay your ransom. In fact, I have a few next steps in mind that I'm going to share at the end of this video. But for the rest of you watching, wondering what happened, we did an investigation here, and these attackers have been approaching our overseas customer support agents, looking for a weak link, someone who would accept a bribe in exchange for sharing some customer information with them. Now, our support tools have limited access to customer information. There was no passwords or private keys or funds accessed as part of this. But customer support agents do have access to personal information like name, date of birth, address, etc. And attackers still want access to this information because it allows them to conduct social engineering attacks where they can call our customers, impersonating Coinbase customer support, and try to trick them into sending their funds to the attacker. Now, unfortunately, they were able to find a few bad apples. Our systems are designed to mitigate the impact of something like this, so less than 1% of our monthly transacting users had their records accessed, but this is still unacceptable, and I want to tell you what we're doing about it.
Okay.
So first, any customers that were socially engineered as a result of this incident, we're going to reimburse them.
Wow. That's a smart move. That's a smart move. before they start putting a run on your app. Bank run.
There's more details on our website, on our blog post about the reimbursement process. You can read more there. Any customers who have been impacted by this or have been notified at this point. Number two, we're hardening our systems around customer support to make something like this much more difficult in the future. And third, we're actually relocating some of our customer support operations as a result of this.
Gee, I wonder where those customer support centers could have been.
But the last step is maybe the most important, which is that instead of paying this $20 million ransom, we're turning it around. And we're putting out a $20 million award for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of these attackers.
Wow.
For these would-be extortionists or anyone seeking to harm Coinbase customers, know that we will prosecute you and bring you to justice. And now you have my answer.
I gotta tell you right now, for someone to be in charge of millions of people's crypto assets, banking information, personal information, and be a victim of a hack, that was the perfect response. That's how you handle that. I'm not saying that, Coinbase is the greatest thing ever. And, but that's how you handle that. That was a great, phenomenal response. I don't know who thought of that, if it was him or team or attorneys. That was genius. That was a genius response. And the sad part is just the other day, we were celebrating Coinbase. Coinbase had just joined the S&P 500. The stock was up. And now we get this. Let's take a look. See how we playing this. Oof. Who bought the dip? Who bought the dip? Which one of y'all bought the dip? Which one of y'all bought the dip? About to? What a great opportunity to get in. What a great opportunity to get in on Coin. Phenomenal opportunity right there for all my DCAers. It's a good opportunity to get in on Coin. Shout out to the folks that bought the dip. Yeah. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Now, y'all know I'm a huge advocate of tech stocks, especially this one company in particular. The U.S. is close to letting the UAE import millions of Nvidia AI chips, sources say. Shout out to all my Nvidia holders. I see you. Shout out to all my Nvidia holders. We're going to be able to pass that portfolio down to our kids. The U.S. has a preliminary agreement with the United Arab Emirates to allow it to import 500,000 of Nvidia's most advanced AI chips per year, starting in 2025. This will boost the Emirates' construction of data centers vital to developing artificial intelligence models. The agreement was at least through 2027, but there's a chance it could be in place until 2030. Now, the draft deal called for 20% of the chips, or 100,000 of them per year, to go to UAE's tech firm G42, while the rest would be split among U.S. companies with massive AI operations like Microsoft and Oracle, who might also seek to build data centers in the UAE. So the chips are going to the UAE, but only 20% will be at the tech firm run by the UAE. The other 80% are going to U.S. corporations. The agreement is still being negotiated and could change before being finalized. Shout out to all of my Nvidia holders. We're doing well out here. In the meantime, between time, our boy Trump trying to do right by the U.S. He had a talk with Tim Cook. You see him right here? He like, hey, man, you better get your ass in line. You see him whispering in his ear, you better get your ass in line. You building them damn factories over there in India? I don't want you building in India, Trump says. Trump said Apple will be upping their production in the United States of the great Americas. Oh, yeah. He says you can build in India if you want to take care of India. And Tim Cook said, hey, listen, man, I got you. So, we're going to see Apple production coming to the USA. Hopefully this is real. Hopefully it goes through, Apple's in the chat if you want to work at Apple. Apple's in the chat if you want to work at Apple. Shout out to all my Apple holders. Shout out to all my Mag 7 holders. Anyway, great news is happening around the world. Trump's tariffs have been quite effective, albeit the Democrats just don't want to admit it.
China.
There it is right there. China lifts dual-use rare earth export ban on 28 U.S. companies. China has temporarily suspended its ban on the export of rare earth minerals and other dual-use items to 28 U.S. companies. Shout out to all my numerologists, my people in numerology. 28, you know that number means. This move is part of a broader trade détente with the U.S., marking a potential ease of tensions between the two economies. Shout out to my boy Scotty. Scotty negotiated a fabulous deal. Shout out to my boy Scotty. You know, he holding down the Treasury. He holding down the U.S. Treasury, making good deals. Speaking of good deals, Trump made another deal. This deal is with Iran. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Thursday that Washington might be getting close to an agreement with Iran to curb the Islamic Republic's nuclear program. Tehran may have agreed to the broader terms of the deal, which would limit their uranium enrichment in return for relief from the crippling sanctions imposed by the U.S. Trump saying in Qatar, is quoted as saying, "I think we're getting close to maybe doing a deal. You probably read the story that Iran has some sort of has sort of agreed to the terms." Who questioned the tariffs? Who questioned the tariffs? Where are you at? Where are you at? Huh? Huh? Where are you at? You looking real funny now. You looking real funny money right now. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, back to
China.
We got this AI arms race. This AI arms race. First of all, let me just tell you something. Before it was about military arms. Right now, we are dealing with the AI race. Okay? That's what you're dealing with. That's what you're seeing right now. People aren't calling it that, but
Hotep Jesus
has just coined it the AI arms race. That's what this is, the AI arms race, the future of the world. Chinese regulators inform major tech companies, including Tencent Holdings, Alibaba Group, ByteDance, and Baidu, not Erica, that they would tighten control over the construction and operation of AI data centers. This information was reported today. The Chinese government is encouraging companies to establish data centers in specific locations that would allow authorities greater oversight of their operations. The purpose of these new regulations is to assure that data centers are fully utilized. The initiative is part of China's broader response to growing competition with the U.S. in artificial intelligence, especially after American export controls restricted sales of advanced chips. Who questioned the tariffs? Who questioned the tariffs? The tariffs were strategically intelligent. Strategically intelligent. Shout out to my boy Scotty. Shout out to our boy Scotty. Great work, sir. Great work. We're getting China. China's back in their place. Trump put China back in their place. I gotta tell you, he really did. That's at least that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. You put China back in its place.
China.
And that's your finance economic update of the day. Don't you feel like money? Don't you just feel like money? We're now all just a 1/10 of an IQ point smarter. You know? Shout out to King J. Thank you for the clips.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.